So, we've finally gotten our first look at the Resident Evil 4 remake that was announced to be in development over a year ago. Kicking off PlayStation's most recent State of Play, the trailer showed off some familiar locations and characters for fans to get excited about for Capcom's newest retread in the series. So today I thought we'd take a look at some of the things that I found interesting about this reveal and see what can be gleaned from this sliver of the game that we've been given. To start, let's first talk about the things that I'm not sure about, because the trailer is mainly centered around things that would be familiar to most people who played the original, just kind of showing off the updated graphics and some of the new character models. That is, aside from this emblem, which is shown at the end of the trailer while Sadler is presumably talking about giving Leon the Plagas parasite. This is the only part of the trailer that I don't really understand. It could be nothing, it could be an updated insignia for the Los Illuminados, I just don't recognize it, so if you've got any theories, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. The second thing that jumps out to me as new in this game is at the very beginning of the trailer where we see Leon meeting with a man in a suit. This man is almost certainly President Graham, Ashley's father. This is a new cutscene that we weren't privy to in the initial game, and it may open up the story a bit more in terms of what Leon's job was after Raccoon. There's also a line in the trailer about Leon being much more burdened by the events of Raccoon than he was ever led on to be in the original game.
If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain. Even for a second.
This leads us into another interesting thing of note about the remake, that being the darker, more gritty feel to the environment. The original RE4, while certainly having darker elements, was often kept light through the witty remarks of Leon.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
This new game, though, based on the little that we've seen, will give Leon a heavier heart about his struggles after the nightmare of Raccoon. So it should be interesting to see how this impacts the story. Not to mention that the color palette seems to be more muted. The game honestly reminds me a lot of RE8 in terms of the feel that they go for in the trailer. It's also different that we see Ashley on the back roads of the village alone. These could be shots that are just for the trailer, but in the original, Ashley is only ever with Leon while in the village, so this could hint at possible expansions into her role in the story. Perhaps we'll get to see an escape attempt by her before Leon even arrives, but really we have no idea. Presumably she will still be captured by Krauser and didn't just stumble upon this town herself, but we'll have to see. Aside from those things, most of the other bits that can be seen can be directly linked to sections of the original game. Leon's first encounter with a ganado, Leon's first discovery of El Pueblo, Los Illuminados followers in Salazar's castle, the Ada vs. Leon fight in the castle, the fight with Del Lago, and Leon's first real complications after being injected with Las Plagas. We also get some limited shots of what appear to be various characters from the game. Of course, we have Leon, looking very similar to how he looked in RE2, Ashley with a bit of an updated outfit, Ada, who doesn't seem to be sporting her signature red dress this time around, a back shot of Luis Serra, a distant shot of who I would guess is Torres Mendez, and of course, a shadowy shot of Osman Sadler. For me, all of the in-game models are looking fantastic, and I can't wait to see what little changes that they've made to everyone. However, personally, it's going to take a bit of time for me to get used to the new voice actors. I've played the original so much and am so accustomed to them that it is a bit jarring to try and adapt to these new changes.
Guess you, me, picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh?
Also, I'm kind of just tacking this on at the end because Capcom had their own presentation for the remake as I was making this video, but they didn't really show off anything new aside from some new concept art and a small glimpse of gameplay. That gameplay being what appears to be the walk away from the first Ganado's house, again just reinforcing the darker tone. One thing of note from that gameplay though is that at one point the player sights in and we don't see the laser sight. I don't know if that's just because this is a demo, so they're running the game without the HUD, but being a big fan of the laser sight, this is a bit worrying to me. All in all though, this is an obvious day one purchase for me. Even if the trailer would have been terrible, I still would have gotten it day one. RE4 is my favorite game of all time, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they do with it. I think the meeting with the president scene in particular is the most interesting thing about the trailer because it shows an expansion of the canon beyond what we've seen, and I'm very excited to see it. March 24th, 2023 cannot come soon enough. Anyways, thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one.